Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Hi. What are you guys doing? Hey. I haven't done a live in so long. I was like, let me say hi to my friends. I wanted to chit chat, answer questions. I'm not in the mood to like go over anything other than what y'all want to talk about. So this is for you. Oh, thank you, girl. If y'all are in Dallas, well, the DFW Metroplex, my nail lady is J Nails with a Z at the end of it on Instagram. She is amazing. She is a doll. She is everything. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi. Okay. So I'm going to, since y'all are asking about the event right quick, this is the last event of the year. I'm literally exhausted. Like, I love y'all girls. Like, y'all are everything. But I'm like a perfectionist. And it just took so much out of me. And I feel as though since I'm trying to rush for Halloween, because I want to be ratchet, I want to get dressed up and stuff like that. And I want to go to Vegas. Like, let's just mix it together. Let's make it happen. And I feel as though I would be selfish not to bring you along. So this is going to be my last, like, official event. If I do something else in Dallas, I don't know, but it's just a lot planning and stuff like that. So I'm going to open it up for you girls next week so I can have all the details and stuff. But other than that, I'm still recovering from this event. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I've been trying to catch up on my coaching calls and everything. So, hey, boo. Hey. She said she just moved to Frisco. It is so nice out there. Girl, let me come over and walk around your neighborhood. Let's go steal some husbands. I love Frisco. Carmen and baby, hi. You better be coming with us to Vegas. Okay, so I decided, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you're missing out because I try to like keep you updated. So, as y'all come in, our final event of the year is going to be in Vegas. I can't take a lot of girls this time because it's not my home turf. Like, here, if anything happened, like, I'm at home. You know what I mean? So if somebody couldn't come through for whatever reason, I had backup. I always had backup at home. Vegas is a free-for-all. In addition to that, it's not a place for new girls, like girls that aren't comfortable speaking to men already, because, like, I can't say it on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to get into detail on Instagram. So I'm going to go over to Instagram and I'm going to kind of explain it because I made a video that's still trying to be monetized that was going to explain everything. But I'm not going to post it for free. That little money sign is yellow. And I'm like, I'm not going to upload it. So let me come live and behave. So yes. So I'm going to go ahead and tomorrow I'm going to open it up for the girls within our private group. So, you know, see who wants to come, who's able to come for that time. And then after that, probably Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to open it up for you guys. So, hi, Karma. Hey, Lou. How are you? Hi. Okay, so these are the two options. So I was looking at places because I love to like see the places first. I want to be on the strip and I kind of want to be like, because if we're on the strip, then we have access to absolutely everything. You know what I mean? We don't have to worry about getting two big black SUVs and, you know, just transport the girls there. Like, because that's kind of how we had to do it here in Dallas, but it worked out because my friend, she owns an SUV, you know, a really, really nice one. So it kind of worked out. But for Vegas, I'm not gonna rent no SUV because I'm gonna be drinking. I'm not gonna be paying parking in Vegas. So we're just gonna have to Uber it up. So I'm gonna include that all within the initial fee to come. And so again, first come, first serve. Like last time we kind of had an issue because one of the girls, they were related, they were cousins, and so they wanted to share a room and share a bed because like I kind of ran out of space. So she's like, oh, no worries, we're gonna share a bed. I was like, okay, since you're sharing king, I can't have y'all share like a double or a twin or whatever. I'm just not gonna have y'all uncomfortable. So by the time they got up there, all the rooms were taken, especially the single rooms. We had like three single rooms. One single room with a king, and the other two single rooms had queens. And so they had to flip. They had to draw a card because I was like, does anybody want to be nice and give up your single room for the cousins that are sharing a bed? Everybody was looking like, no. I was like, okay, so we about to sit here and flip a card, and whoever gets the house card, they gotta move. And it worked out. Like, it worked out. So sleeping arrangements, we do have some individual rooms. But as far as Vegas, so the two places I'm looking is a beautiful, beautiful house. And he says he has his home in a multi-million-dollar neighborhood, which is nice. He also said we'll have access to his golf course, which is very, very nice. Okay, listen, we need to brush up on our skills. And it's not only about freestyling and stuff, because if that's the case, go to Vegas on your own and freestyle. It's about networking with other women, building those friendships, because a lot of girls are like me. We don't have a lot of women that are on our level that we can actually hang out with and have a good time with and stuff. So it's kind of about building that sisterhood. So that's why I have different activities. In addition to that, if you have like a date, I know one of my girls, she had a date lined up. She was like, Fancy, he wants to meet here. And I'm like, girl, do your thing. We're going to be right down the street if you need anything. You know what I mean? Worst case scenario, have him come to the restaurant we're at. We're going to act like, we don't know you. But if you need help, we there. We're not playing no games. So it's about the overall experience. It's about the experience. So we really had a good time in Dallas. I had fun the last night because of the game. It took later. I mean, it took some time for it to get busy because later on in the night when the game was over and stuff, people started coming out and stuff. But that was a Sunday night. It's to be expected. But we had a good time. There was some friendships made. Everybody was sad. People are planning future get-togethers. And, I just love it. I can't wait to get the girls back their pictures. If y'all are watching and y'all came, I talked to the photographer yesterday, and he said he was going to go ahead and send me the pictures, so I'm waiting. I will blow him up, so don't worry. I'll get you your pictures, but y'all were bad. Y'all was cute. Y'all was cute. But let me answer some questions before I get off of here. I just wanted to say hi. Okay, so for Vegas, I think we're going to do from Friday night until Sunday. Yeah, so Friday night until Sunday. Because again, it's a big group. Well, it's not a big group. Okay, that's what I was going to say about the group. If I do off of the strip in his really, really nice house and we have access to the golf course, I want to, I can only do like 6 girls. Number one, a lot of the Airbnbs, they have like king size beds and queen beds. And they said, I can fit 8 people. I can fit, but that's with people who know each other and don't mind sharing a bed. I'm trying to, everybody can't just have their own room, but you at least need your own bed. And I'll be darned if, anybody's sleeping on the couch, especially if you're paying. Like, again, I know, you know what I mean? It's for the experience, but like, am I supposed to say bring a sleeping bag, plop it on the floor? Like, no, I just want people to be comfortable. In addition to that, the more girls, I felt like a chaperone. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, did I already count her? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like, I always had to counter girls, so I knew we weren't leaving anybody. And like, it was just like, and that was home. That's Dallas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we did leave somebody, I could just like skirt around, which we didn't. We didn't leave anybody. We did not. But I'm just saying, if we was like in a place I'm not familiar with, like, I'm familiar with the strip, but the outskirts of the strip, I'm not familiar. I'm not, and I would feel terrible. So we're gonna have to do way smaller than 11 girls, because that was like a lot. She said, girl, we don't mind sharing beds. Girl, people gonna be like, speak for yourself. I'm not gonna be in a bed with these nasty. Oh my goodness. So okay, any sugaring experience in Houston? I'm just not, I don't have any experience in Houston except for dancing. I just haven't been into Houston like that. Like, and I remember going there like once, and I don't even consider that going to Houston. So no, like the culture in Houston's totally different from Dallas. I've danced in Austin, never danced in San Antonio. I've never even heard of clubs. Well, I'm sure there's clubs in San Antonio, but I haven't. In Houston, I wouldn't even consider it. It was like a half of a time. So I'm not familiar with Houston at all. Hey girl. Okay, cool. So I'm talking to a guy from online, and I mentioned that we should have a virtual date where we can talk and get to know each other better. He said that he wouldn't mind meeting in person, but he totally what, boo? What did he totally do? Were you gonna say he totally ignored you mentioning the virtual part? He totally respects my wishes. I was like, cool, but I haven't. Wait, hold on. He totally respects my wishes. I was like, cool, but I haven't been to my favorite restaurant in a while. Okay, what's the question? Like, what are you asking? So you're talking to a guy online, you want a virtual date, he mentioned meeting in person, but he respects your wishes. And then somebody said, I haven't been to my favorite restaurant in a while. What are you saying? What are you saying? Girl, we're just starting. Legacy love, how are you? Did anybody have any complete questions? So I can actually help. I'm not really sure what you're saying. So he wants to meet there. Should I ask for money up front? Okay, so um, first and foremost, where did you meet him? If you did not meet him on a sugar daddy website, we are not asking for money up front. Secondly, if you met him on a sugar daddy website, a meet fee should have already been, spoken about. If you haven't already, go ahead and tell him that you require a meet fee. If you met him on a regular website, no, no, ma'am, no meet fee. Um, okay, if a man asks you where should y'all go for a first date, is that a beta male or beta male tendencies? No, I don't believe so. I feel as though a man, especially a man with experience with women, he's gonna want to please you. You don't want a man who takes all his girls to the same place, because I know I had a coaching call and a girl, she wasn't comfortable going into the city. She lives on the outskirts, and I know a lot of girls, depending on where they live, they might not be comfortable driving in a city, and she was one of those. And he insisted, kind of forced her into this restaurant, and come to find out, it was a restaurant that he took all his other girls to, and he kind of just let her walk in to see if she was who she said she was, and his intentions wasn't even to, buy her food, buy her drinks, anything, just to sit here and be like, okay, well, you took too long getting here, so I'm about to go, and if you want to, continue to deal with me, you're gonna have to go ahead. And ended up following him to, wait, yeah, she ended up following him to his house. But it was a whole setup, and come to find out, that's where he takes all his girls, because he told her. So no, if he cares enough to, try to impress you and to make sure you're not allergic to seafood, or to make sure that, you haven't been to a restaurant that made you sick, or maybe you know someone who might work there, you should definitely jump on it and be like, oh babe, that was so nice of you to, even consider what I would like, and then go down the list. I feel like, to make it appear like it's his choice, choose like maybe two very high-end places, and allow him to step up and be the man and choose, even though you had the final say so by giving him those options. So give him two options. He seems polite. I like that. Fancy, what's the first red flag that a sugar daddy's a creep? A red flag, he's being very inappropriate. If a guy is comfortable enough asking you what color panties, or you know what I mean, anything inappropriate, can you send me a picture, or stuff like that, or what's your fantasy, or what's a way that I can spoil you, intimately, or something like that. Those are red flags. And that's when I sit here and I get really harsh. I'm like, okay, well, um, babe, you're kind of, too old to be speaking to me in that, manner. And if I wanted to be disrespected like that, I would, choose to speak to someone half your age. And, when it comes to respect, if he gets defensive and stuff like that, then that's an additional red flag, because at that time he's supposed to stop, yield, and say, I'm so sorry to have offended you. Because yes, some men think it's okay to joke, but again, you know, they have to test you first. And men can be jokesters. They can be jokesters. So, and yeah. How to let a man know. Okay, so how do I let a man know I expect to be taken care of financially even though I met him freestyling? Okay, so that's not going to happen until the first date. So if you met a man freestyling, you know, go ahead, exchange information, whatever. And then as you're planning the date, make sure it's going to be at a very high-end place. Like, not just something that's semi, like people are doing Papados. Papados isn't like all that nice. And I'm just going to, even the poorest people go to Papados. Like, I'm just letting you know that's like a common place. So go to some place like super super expensive within your area or whatever, and then, you know, on the dinner, you know, let him know. I'm not gonna say act yeah, act bratty. That's the thing. You're not supposed to act overly sweet, overly nice. You're just supposed to, you know, act as though you're used to things like that. Don't have this man take a picture of you in front of his car. Don't you have him take a picture of you eating your food. Don't have him take pictures of you, because it shows him that you're not used to, you know, nice things. In addition to that, it shows him that you're impressed, and it shows him you don't know how to act in a restaurant like that. You don't see people, you know, you don't see flashes, you know, what going on in a nice restaurant. It's dimly lit and everybody's speaking quietly, and if not whispers to, you know, their person, and it might be like, you know, a candle lit or something like that. So definitely the way you carry yourself is going to reflect. I know I just ended up going to this meeting 2 weeks ago, and the person who was speaking, the speaker, he came up to me, and the guy I was with, and he was just like, he kind of nudged him in the arm and says, shoot, I could tell she's high maintenance. I didn't speak to him. I didn't look at him. He was just shaking people's hands as we left the conference, basically. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, he kind of shrugged him like that. And the guy I was with was just like, oh yeah, you don't even know half of it. And it wasn't because of anything I said. You know what I mean? He just looked at me. Somebody should be able to look at you and tell. And especially if they're speaking to you, the less you speak, the better. You know what I mean? It's a mystery about everything. So she said, Fancy, a guy asked me out on a date on what's your price for 150, but asked me out for coffee. I left him unread because I don't do coffee dates. Did I make a good choice? So you accepted the 150, so that means that that price was okay for you. And then as far as coffee, you can let him know, say, hey babe, I don't, you know, do coffee dates. Sometimes you have to tell a man, you have to teach someone, you know, how to treat you. You can't just assume. And when women leave him unread, you know, maybe he came across another woman and she left him unread, versus saying, hey, I don't typically, you know, make time for coffee. You know, if I'm gonna get to know you, I prefer lunch or I prefer dinner, and this restaurant's one of my favorites. Would this work for you? So that's kind of giving him an option, but really not. It's saying, dude, I'm not taking coffee. If you would like to see me, you're not gonna sit here and include my dinner, you know, what you would have spent on me at dinner, 150, which is nothing. You're not gonna, you know, roll that into what you're gonna pay me for what's your price. But I typically I don't do 150, but if that works for you, girl, that's okay. Again, what your price is kind of like you're working, it's an incentive. You're getting comfortable with receiving from money from men. Okay, you're comfortable receiving money from men. And a lot of women aren't comfortable being receivers because they've always had to take care of men. And with that being said, I suggest that for a lot of new girls, because I know I had a coaching call with a girl in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Joy, I think she's up there with you, girl. I think she said Frisco, Plano area. And she said she went out to dinner. She took like a $200, I think it was $200 or $250 bid. So what's your price? They bid on you. So she accepted $250, I believe. And once she showed up, she said he was a cowboy hat, boots, whatever. And he asked her, well, what do you need? Whatever, whatever, whatever. And she wrote out her bills, I believe. And then before they left, he had $1,000 in cash for her already. Some men, you know what I mean, they're used to the game. They already know what it is. They're not trying to take advantage, you know what I mean, and they're looking for something specific. Other men, they know what it is, but they try to take advantage of you. And because, you know, they're trying to do that, you got to kind of keep an eye, like, dude, you're old. You can't promise me, you know, a future. You're not gonna live for that much longer. Like, I'm being funny, but I'm just saying. And then in addition to that, if it's about us looking good, like, I can look good with a dusty my age. You know what I mean? So they know what it is. There's not a guy who is 40 and up thinking that he can talk to a girl in his 20s. Like, maybe a guy in his 40s thinking he can talk to someone in their 30s, but not a guy in their 40s thinking he can talk to somebody in their 20s. It's just not. You know what it is. And so, and yeah. So no, let him know about the coffee date. Oh my gosh, all my girls are from the area. Valley Ranch, Irving is. I love it over there. She said a dinner etiquette video. Absolutely. I've been trying to, now that it's still kind of slow, I think I kind of want to do it with someone. Any of the guys that I show you, or that I might bring to an event, or that I show you on my channel, these aren't guys that are my sugar daddies. You understand? Like, the guys that I'm in sugaring relationships with, those relationships are private, not only respecting, you know, our relationship, but it's, again, all the men have that you've heard on my channel, they stated they don't prefer the term sugar daddy. So if I did say, hey babe, you know, come on my channel, a lot of them do know that I'm on YouTube, but they don't really think too much of it. But the two that don't know, they would be offended. They would be offended that, you know, I would, you know, is this a show? Is this a true relationship? Or whatever the case is. So anybody that, you know, I'm showing you guys, or whatever the case is, yes, I wouldn't say they're on my roster, but they're friends. And friends should be paying their way, especially if they're male friends. You know what I mean? So just like the guys who are married that are saying, oh, I'm just looking for a friendship, a mutual friendship, that means that, hey, I'm married, I'm just looking for extracurricular activity. Same thing should be going our way. If we are friends, you know what I mean, it doesn't mean that you don't have to pay. I'm not going to hang out with you for free. I'm not going to sit here and go watch. I can watch a movie by myself. I can go out with my girlfriends. I'm not going to sit here and have a guy friend, and because you're calling it a friendship, you feel as though I'm going to pay my food, you're going to pay your food. No, all inclusive. We're friends. That's what title you want to put it on. Okay, how about I say we're not friends and you're still going to pay? Like, stop. So, yeah, for sure. The next, so dinner etiquette, I think when I get one of my friends to take me out, you know what I mean, since it's not like a one of my main guys, then I'll for sure do that, because I wouldn't feel uncomfortable, you know, breaking everything out and showing you what it is. Oh, thank you, baby. Carmela, you're so sweet. Okay, advice for girls wanting to work at a strip club: dressing, stripper heels, interview, finding in club. It depends. So go as a customer first. You have to see how the other girls look. Yes, it's always good to stand out, but no, every strip club has their own idea of the type of girls that they're trying to go. Like in Dallas, the men's club, it's all nightgown. You have to wear a nightgown, and you have to have a lingerie. You can't really do swimsuits. So they might have a swimsuit or bikini night, or an event, or a hula theme or something like that, but it's rare. You can't just go in there with some bra and panties like you could at like a strip club. It's a gentleman club. Also, the lodge. The lodge is a high-end gentleman's club, and there you can. There's no poles, so there's no need of learning pole tricks and all that other stuff, because pole work is considered not classy. You would not. They would not allow you on the floor with light up heels. It's trifling. It's ratchet. It's ghetto. It's not okay. And I mean, go before so you can kind of see how everybody else is dressed, how they're behaving, how they're wearing their hair. Like at those two clubs, I would definitely, my hair has to be black. So if I'm working there, my hair has to be black. I'm thinking like at Silver City, it's more laid back. I could wear my hair ginger. I can wear my hair, you know what? At Silver City, I wore my hair green before. It was, and y'all were thinking like green. Yo, I pulled it off. It was so cute and so classy. I had a cute green. It was cute. It was cute, but I could never do that like at the men's club. I could never do that at like the lodge. Okay, now I'm trying to think. Bucks, so Bucks Dallas, Bucks Fort Worth, they're night and day. Bucks Fort Worth is smaller, but it's more money, even though the club isn't as nice as Bucks Dallas, because Bucks Dallas is like 2 stories. It's newer, it's bigger. But Fort Worth is more cowboys, more money, more oil, more construction, and more like that. Dallas is more businessmen, but I feel like the Dallas scene at Bucks Dallas, it has more competition because it has baby dolls, it has the men's club, it has the lodge, it has Silver City, it has a lot of competition versus Fort Worth. It's the clubs are spread out so far apart, like out there in the country. I consider Fort Worth the country. I consider the country. So go first. My first advice is go check the club out first. See how the girls are wearing, are acting and behaving. Always have a gown. Always have, you know, your legal thong and stuff. That's, you know, what you have to dance, you know, and always have actual stripper shoes. If you don't have stripper shoes, you will get a ticket. And I can't tell you what for, but you will get a ticket. You will get a ticket. And if you don't have an actual legal thong, you will get a ticket. And I'm trying to think. And be prepared for them to look at you naked. They need to see you, even if it's not a nude club. I literally got naked at 3 clubs and they weren't nude. They want to see what you look like. They want to see what you look like, to the point that lighter complected women bleach, you know, back there, because they really want to see what you look like. So make sure your nails are done. Get your makeup professionally done for the audition. If you're a black girl, have dark hair, straight hair, long hair preferred. I'm trying to think, what else would I suggest? And have an audition bag. Don't audition without your work stuff with you. So, oh my gosh, I wish I had the duffel bags that I gave away to the girls, because I would have showed you. I was gonna keep one, but I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough to keep one because we had more girls than I expected. But they're so cute. They're so cute. So yeah, that's what I suggest. Okay, any tips on freestyling and meeting new people while staying safe at the same time? I don't know. A lot of people want to say that freestyling is so dangerous. It's not more dangerous than dating. It's just not, except for, you know what I mean, you have standards and you're going, you know, you're trying to attract a certain type of man. When you're dating, it's typically, because I'm not saying just regular dating, but most women are like dating for looks. Oh, he's attractive, or oh, you know what I mean, he seems like my type. Like, my type is money. If you can't, you know, y'all know what our type is, okay? So staying safe is just common sense. Don't allow anybody to pay for you a Uber home or anything like that. Don't leave anywhere with this person, because he might call an Uber and say, oh, we're going to go to the next spot. That man could have had a friend that appears to be the Uber. You get in a car and you're kidnapped. But you didn't think about it like that. Well, Fancy said don't Uber to the house. Don't Uber in the same car as, with this guy at all. You don't know him. And these people are smart. Serial killers are smart. Criminals are smart. They're very smart. They just got caught, but they're smart. You know what I mean? So don't do nothing crazy. Like, don't go back to his place with him. Don't leave your drink. Become friends with the bartender and let them know, yeah, this is our first date, if y'all are at the bar or whatever, you know, so the bartender can look out. Bartenders typically work for their tips, so they don't have a problem saying, you know, oh, she had to go take a phone call and she didn't notice her drink, you know, which sometimes it happens. Or, you know what I mean, some bartenders, I even seen a bartender not let this girl leave with this man because she was drunk. You know what I mean? And so make friends with your bartenders. Have pepper spray. My friend, she don't play. She carry. You know what I mean? I need to start. I don't have a, like in Texas, I feel like you can carry, but I think you need a license. So I feel like I need to go get my gun license. I'm scary, but I really need to do it because it's safety. But just be careful. Let people know where you are, and don't ride in the same car with them. So how can he show you generosity if you don't ask for a meat fee, since It's a regular dating site. So when you meet someone on a regular dating site, basically you have to, go on the date, get to know him, you know what I mean, and you let him know your intentions, and he's gonna let you know his intentions, you know what I mean. So say after the first day, ask him what he's looking for, and it's not because we care, he can say he's married, he can say he's not married, it just does not matter. He can want physical, not physical, it doesn't matter, it's all the same thing. Just to get off what you looking for and let him know you're used to being taken care of. I'm used to being wined and dined. You know what I mean? I love a man who, goes out his way to find out my favorite perfume and brings it on a date. I love a man who, goes out and says, you know what, diamonds look, good on her. Let me buy you a tennis bracelet. Give him examples. Let this man know what you expect and what you've had done for you in the past. And so after that's said and done, that date's over, right? Okay. And so if he's interested in following up, say, baby, I really enjoyed, our date. Could you go ahead and send me money so I can get a dress for the next one? I love getting dressed up for you, and I saw this really cute dress. At this point, he knows you're high maintenance. He knows what to expect. You explained yourself. He saw that you're worth it, and stuff like that. If you ask a man on a regular dating site for a meet fee, he's gonna feel as though you're an extracurricular worker, and he's gonna feel as though, you know, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna throw him off a guard, and it looks really tacky, and it doesn't look tasteful. Versus a sugar daddy website, and that's what it's there for. It's there to get the money out the way. Obviously, you're an older man. I'm a beautiful young woman, and you're gonna have to pay. On a dating site, you know what I mean. These men may never have been exposed to, a woman who expects to be taken care of. But once he meets you, he's gonna see that you're not like his ex that was spoiled and threw a fit in a restaurant and threw her glass and flipped over her plate, and stuff like that. And so he's going to be like, she was very sweet, she was very well spoken, and she explained herself, even if your dad wasn't there, you know what I mean. You can't show him any issues that you might have where my dad wasn't there. I will sit here and make it up, and I haven't seen my dad in like 15, 16, 17 years. I would say, yeah, my dad spoiled me all my life. I'm just really used, to being taken care of. And ever since then, I've always dated older. Older men know how to put a smile on your face, and they know how to keep it there. And you don't really have to show them your lifestyle. They're already used to your lifestyle. So that's how I'll go about it. But on a regular dating site, you have to sit here and finesse it. He's not like, especially when you come across a man that may have never spent money on a woman that he was just getting to know. If you ask for money right off the bat, you can run that guy off. You know what I mean? So, no, you have to, you know, you always put Oh, thank you. Eve, you're so sweet. Y'all be putting y'all family and friends on. I really do appreciate y'all. Do you use? Do I use fake scenarios? It just depends. Um, I'm not gonna tell my real information. You know what I mean? But when it comes to being needy, like, oh, I got a flat tire, or oh, I I can't pay for my car insurance, or oh, that makes you seem homeless and broke, or oh, can you buy me some groceries, or no, if I'm in a grocery store and you're following me and you're trying to get my number, I'm gonna make you work for my number. I'm used to men, especially if they want something from me, you know what I mean? Are you gonna take care of my groceries for me, babe? And what are they gonna say? No? Okay, well, it was really nice meeting you. A lot of them will be like, oh, no problem, let's go. So, fake scenarios, not to make me seem I like other men aren't taking care of me. Like if you're saying that, hey, I don't know, I'm trying to give it a good example that somebody um just brought up. Okay, so I had a coaching call. She said something about, what did she say her scenario was? Um, oh, she went out with him somewhere and she wanted him to buy her some wine. or something. And so he took her to the grocery store. He took they went to the grocery store to buy a wine. He bought him one and her one. And she said while she was there, you know what I mean? She said, can I get a few groceries or whatever? And so he just did some grocery shopping too. And then 2 days later, he's going to follow up or whatever and ask her about something. And then she's going to say, oh, well, can you pay for, I think it was a bill or something like that. And they literally went on one date. And she said she hasn't heard from him. And okay, and this is how I feel. So first and foremost, if you want a guy to buy a wine, go into a grocery store. I just don't know super expensive wine in a grocery store, and it could have easily turned to us getting a bottle of wine. Well, let's go back to the house. I'm not gonna give it, let it be a doorway, for it to lead to something else. You know what I mean? Yes, you're supposed to, seduce him and lead him on and stuff like that, but we're not engaging into physical situations with these guys. And because we're not doing this, then if you put yourself in a situation where you're at his house or you're in a vehicle with him and he has to make a stop, because I've had girls say, well, he just had to stop at his house and he said he was going to run up and he started to take a long time, so he told me to come up and I didn't know what else to do. You put yourself in that situation. You know what I mean? And if you put yourself in that situation, then you're going to, have to resort in desperate, things. You're gonna have to respond in a desperate manner. And so, from the wine, if you want him to buy you expensive wine, he could have sat here and took you to a nice enough restaurant. So he needs to buy wine there, not for a discount. We're not trying to sit here and help nobody coupon. We're not trying to sit here and let anybody, whatever. We need to run the tab up. You know what I mean? And so then when you continue to ask and you're asking for small stuff, he just bought you a few groceries. You know what I mean? And I do the grocery store thing if I meet you in a grocery store. Like if I'm going to tell you, now I have you here, voila, I wanted you to buy me wine, but I need groceries. It seems like you can't afford your own groceries. And it seems as though you're struggling and you have no other men in your life. So that means I have no competition. That means I can put you on the back burner. That means I can give you scraps. That means I can treat you any kind of way. And then when you followed up a day or two later saying now you need a bill paid, so I just helped you with your groceries, so now you don't have money for your bills, like, versus seeming like it's a requirement to spend this money on you, it seems like it's a necessity, and it feels like you need to get your life together because I can't even take you somewhere. And I'm not saying this about my girl. My girl, she had it together. We got it. But I'm just saying the overall picture, you know what I mean? She a baller. She got it for herself, but she's still trying to figure it out. Some women aren't even, to that level, but, she's seeing what works for her. Same thing with you girls. You have to see what works for you. But I'm saying the way it comes off to a man, like, I helped you in a bind. Now you got a second bind. Now what's going to happen next? Versus, dang, you know what I mean? She's used to nice things. I'm going to have to sit here and continue to impress her. And it's not going to be no little rinky dink, groceries here, a bit of cell phone bill here, or any of that. It's going to be, you know what? Put $1,000 in your pocket. I want you to be okay, and let me know if you need anything. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the vibe we're going for. That's what we're aiming for. But again, we have to make mistakes, especially if you're not putting yourself in a bad situation, you know what I mean, to be able to figure out what works for you. So yeah, the winery would have been really, really cute. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Okay, Fancy, I don't know. I feel like no matter what I do, I cannot get men to give me money help. Um, like, give me an example. I need examples. Like, I know a lot of you girls call in and you're like, oh, Fancy, I need help. All the men, are really doing this, this, and this, and this, and I don't know what to do. Let's start off with your most recent one. Tell me step by step what happened so we can we need to find a pattern. We need to see what you're doing or what behavior you're accepting or what the environment is. Like, I need to know what's going on because I'm not sure why men aren't giving, like, um, I don't know. Um, so Okay, tips on how to keep getting money from a trick or sugar daddy without having to get physical. Not have one. Like just like anything else, you know, somebody, if you have to ask somebody, I like to do allowances, but these are with men that you know. Allowances work when a man knows that, you know, he knows your character. There are so many women, again, been there, done that, that in our younger days we didn't saw $4,000 given to us up front, and we never showed up again when that could have been a potential. You know what I mean? People don't understand. So men learn just like women learn. You know what I mean? Be careful what they invest their money into. If he doesn't trust you, how does he know that you're coming back? You know? And so, but when you continue to ask and ask and ask, I shouldn't have to ask. And the way I carry myself and the way I act, that's why a lot of people, like I have a lot of girls. Well, I guess we all do. You will always have haters that will sit here and comment on the way you do things, the way, you know, you live or whatever the case is. But if it works for you, it works for you. You know what I mean? Regardless of, I think somebody said something about my orange hair. I was like, sweetie, it hasn't stopped me from making money. So, but you're watching me, so maybe you should try it. You know what I mean? And it's just like everything, you know what I mean? People would try to put you down, especially, you know what I mean, when they're so focused on your life and what you're doing and the moves that you're making because they're not making any. And so, the same with your question. You need to have multiple guys. You can't continue to use, you know, this one guy for everything because he will get tired and he's gonna feel like as though number one, you don't have your stuff taken care of, or number two, nobody else wants to spend money on you. If everybody's paying, you know, okay, say gas, okay, not gas, I don't want to do that example. So say something is like an iPhone. The iPhones are so expensive because people are paying for them. They see the value within the iPhone. You know what I mean? If all of a sudden nobody was buying iPhones anymore, the price is going to drop because nobody sees value. When somebody sees value within something, especially something somebody else is investing into, then they're going to sit here and invest into it. The same when it comes to stocks. You know, before Amazon was, you know, popping and Apple and all these places, you know what I mean? People started seeing value within that. So they started investing. People aren't going to really, you know, take those risky investments unless they just have money to throw away. You know what I mean? And so it takes, you know, it's levels to getting there. So, yeah, if you're bugging him about money all the time, number one, he doesn't see the value within you just to give it to you. And number two, you don't have anybody else to get the money from. So you really need to up your roster. And the more you bug that man about it, the more he's going to want something in return versus him offering. If you're asking somebody for something, they're going to want something in return. If somebody gifts you something or gives it to you, baby, I didn't ask you for that. Like, so, I have a date with this man on Saturday at an upscale restaurant, steakhouse, and the place is closed. It closes at 10 and he wants to go at 9. And I'm like, no, I don't want to rush and eat. What time do you think we should go? Well, this is what I'm going to say. A restaurant's not going to push you out, but I love how he's trying to get you out late. Because that's what he's doing. He's trying to have you out late. So, and I'm guessing he's forgetting that, you know, I'm going to still take my time. Even if I chose to be there at 9, I'm going to take my time ordering. I'm going to take my time with everything because a nice restaurant, they're not going to kick you out. They're going to have to stay no matter, you know, even a not nice restaurant. But I feel as though he's trying to see you later on. So it can be like a nightcap situation because, you know, typically the freaks come out at night and he just feels like after getting you drunk, taking you to a nice place, everything else is closed, babe. So what else can we do? I don't want the night to end. You're so amazing. My place. No, better yet, yours. Let's go. I told my best friend, I was just like, why people just be inviting themselves over? Like, no, you can't come over. Why? Like, this is for somebody I know though. Like, if I know this person, like, first off, you're not gonna invite yourself over my house. But if I know them, I'll joke. I'm like, babe, why we can't go to your house? Oh, you're married? I forgot. You know what I mean? So I do that with people I know. But if I don't know them, then, I'm just not going to do that. But still, I would go I'm going to go at 6 or 7. It's a first date. I don't know you. I need it to be light outside. If anything happens, I want to be able to eat comfortably without the restaurant starting to get empty and me feeling uncomfortable like I'm keeping everybody here and the staff's rushing us and all kinds of stuff. And then he's feeling as though we haven't spent enough time together and he wants to end it at his place or my place or whatever. So I'm going to do 6 or 7, even 5. And I feel like this, if you're busy, get at me when you're able to make time for me. I'm not gonna, accommodate your schedule. You're gonna accommodate mine. And if you want to spend time with me, you're gonna make it happen. And if you can't, then baby, sorry. Um, yes, I love that. Let me say, she said, if you let men talk to you for free, they will. That's the problem. That's why you're not getting money. So let's see. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I like to do early. If I'm uncomfortable, if I'm nervous, if I haven't, we're gonna go during the daytime. You know what I mean? Yeah, they can't kick you out, but just his intentions, it closed at 10. Like, what, like, no. I want a man, like, I prefer to make a date or make plans when that man's busy. Like, if you have to work, if you have a meeting, if you have other obligations, I want you to take me out during that time because that means that you sacrificed. If you're not trying to sacrifice for me, it's not going to work. No. Like, I don't want you when you're free. I don't want you when you have nothing else to do. I don't want you when you're bored. Like, I just got off the phone with a friend, and he's like a old, like back in the day friend. And he was all like, "Oh, well, what are you doing today? Working?" Like,